Silver prices are hovering at levels last seen more than a decade ago, with the increase partly being driven by rising demand from the solar industry. Let's get the details then and bring in Jenny Chase, specialist in BloombergNEF's solar team. Jenny, thanks for joining us with the details on this intriguing story. Talk to us then about how much silver is used in the solar industry.
So last year, solar used about 16% of world silver supply. Which is a fair amount. It's more than in previous years. The total demand for new build solar is probably about 50% more silver this year than it was last year. What complicates that a little bit is that there's a lot of solar module inventory sitting around the market from last year. But in general, yes, silver demand for solar is significantly higher this year than last year, which is one of the factors that's driving the price spike.
Is this, Jenny, is this about greater demand for installations? Installations growing, more of these solar panels and installations are being put out and put into place, whether it's on businesses or residential properties, or is it about the technology itself changing?
It's both. So installations of solar are growing about 20% this year compared with last year, which is a lot less than the manufacturers were hoping for, but it's still a fair amount more. But there's also a technology change. So last year, the dominant technology was something called PERC, which uses roughly 9 milligrams of silver per watt. But the chart here is the demand that's showing. So yes, solar demand is up about 20% year on year, but there's also the technology side. So last year, the dominant technology was PERC, which uses about 8.6 milligrams of silver per watt. And this year, the dominant technology with about 60% market share is TOPCon, which is a shade more efficient, but does use significantly more silver, about 12 milligrams per watt. And there are some other technologies that aren't quite major market yet that use even more silver. So yes, it's partly demand and it's partly the technology shift that are driving the increase in silver use by the solar industry.
OK, I pulled up a chart year to date. I'm looking at silver prices up about 22%. So my question then is, if silver prices keep rising, does this lead to an inflationary impulse? The prices of these modules rise as a result?
Well, right now, there is some other stuff going on in the solar industry, and solar module prices are the lowest that they've ever been. So they just dropped below 10 US cents per watt, which is absolutely unbelievable, given that the price of solar modules in 2004 was over $4 a watt. So modules are cheaper than they've ever been, but silver now makes up about 11% of the cost of making a solar module. So this is significant. And basically, the stress is entirely on the manufacturers right now, which are making very negative margins because you've got these super cheap modules and high costs.